What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're watching this, you likely live somewhere in North America, like somewhere that has the salt belt, and you unfortunately have to fear rust. I live in Canada, and rust is a serious issue up here. Luckily, my legacy behind me, it's been oil sprayed the last 7 years, and the benefit of that is it creates an oil film that protects the steel from rust. And I can guarantee it works because this is 2006. My Impreza was 2006. Impreza was never oil sprayed and that thing rotted to pieces. It's literally to the point to where I'm parting it out just because the rust was so bad. This thing is solid. I am absolutely shocked. Like, other than a little bit of surface rust here or there, like, it's pretty damn good. Just to give you an idea, this summer I was underneath it working on the exhaust and all that, and I actually pulled out the fender liner here, and typically there's a bunch of gunk that gets in there, and I know it's very common in Imprezas and it likes to rust out. I went in there and it was completely solid. Not a single bit of rust, as solid as you could be. So I'm gonna continue doing that just because I like to make it last a lot longer. Already it has, I think, around 230,000 on it. And let's try to get it to 500,000, why not? I, like probably many other people, called around trying to find a place that can rust-proof my car, and I waited too long like last year, and the nearest date I could get oil sprayed was over a month away. So I panicked, I went on Amazon, I bought 1 gallon of fluid film, and I had some cans as well already, and I also bought this spray gun right here. Now, this is a cheaper spray gun. I think it was about $40, $45 off of Amazon, and it's just the one nozzle. I would recommend, if you plan on doing this all the time, get one with different variations of nozzles. You really want to be able to get into like little nook and crannies and get into tight areas, where this one is just kind of generic. It sprays. What you get is what you get. I got this one just because I wanted to try it out and see how it worked. Next year, I'll likely try to find some different nozzle attachments. I would like to continue doing this, and I like the ability to get into those tight areas like I mentioned. But honestly, for 45 bucks, it's not bad. You just unscrew it, you fill the fluid film in here, and it's good to go. You can do the aerosol can method, but it adds up pretty quick. I think 1 can is like $20 Canadian, and you need at least 4. I would say more to do a car, and it's pretty slow. It's not really efficient. I don't really recommend it. The other option is you buy a full gallon. So this, I paid around 80 bucks. So that was 4 cans for 80 bucks. This whole gallon was 80 bucks. And actually, it's probably enough to do 2 cars. I already did my fiance's car, which has never been oil sprayed. And you could see there's a little bit left in there. Not a ton, but I think it's enough for me to do this car. The only other things you're going to need is you're going to need an air compressor, which I have one behind me. I think that's a 20 gallon. You don't need something that big, but obviously having something larger is better. Otherwise, your compressor is going to be going non-stop, and it's just going to continue trying to build pressure. Like, if you got like a really tiny one, you're going to have a bad time. So just get that. This one has an air regulator on it. You could do one that's attached directly to the gun. I just turned this one down to around, I don't know, 60 PSI. People were saying 40, but I found it was too low to actually push the fluid out. My only recommendation is just kind of mess around with it, spray it, and just see what works for you. If it's really just dumping out a lot of product, maybe turn it down a bit. If it's not enough, just turn it up. Just kind of play with it and see what you like. Obviously, air hose, you're going to need that. And the only other thing I'd really recommend is a respirator of some sort. I got one of those N95 ones that I am going to be wearing just to kind of help. You are spraying the oil. It's going to go up into the air. You don't want to breathe this stuff. It stinks. I did on my fiance's car, and the smell lingered for a couple of days, just to give you a heads up. And another thing I would highly recommend, which I'm not going to do in this video, and I'll probably do it next year, and just because I don't have this tool, I don't have a pressure washer on me. The one I used in the past, that was my father's. It was never mine. So I am not going to spray it. The reason why I recommend spraying it is you just have years of gunk and rust and just whatever accumulated on the car, built up on the car. You want to get it off. You want to spray it on a clean surface. Unfortunately, I'm not doing that. You can probably get away with it. I would recommend spraying it with a pressure washer, letting it dry off, and then oil spraying it. So I am going to be skipping that. So I'm going to do the front end first, turn it around, do the rear end. While I'm doing that, I'm actually also going to put on my winter tires up here. Just get that done because it is that time of the year. The BBSs are off. She's up in the air, and you can see, like I mentioned, the car has been oil sprayed, but there is a couple areas that is exposed metal, but honestly, I'm not too worried about that. This car is so caked in oil, like it's pretty brutal. That's just layers and layers and layers of oil, meaning I don't think it was ever pressure washed between oil sprays, but it definitely did the trick. This thing is pretty solid, all things considered. Like my Impreza, everything here was brown. It was all brown, all of this. Down here, it was all brown. You can see there's a little bit right there, but nothing crazy. I am happy to continue doing this. I'm sure you're wondering, how the heck do you use this? And I will quickly show you. It's really simple. You're also going to want gloves, probably some eye protection, and we're pretty much good to rock. So let me show you guys how to load this, how to connect it, how to set it up. It's honestly super simple. This is just a can of fluid film. You can get it from Amazon like I got it. Once you open it up, that is what it looks like. It's nothing great. It's just this oily liquid paste that stinks really bad, honestly. It kind of looks like a caramel peanut butter thing. I don't really recommend tasting it, but you could be my guest. I just like to give this thing a quick stir just because it can separate, especially if you stored this, let's say, for a year. From like last season, I would recommend probably just giving it a quick stir just so everything is happy and together. All right, cool. Now for the gun, I went ahead and I sealed everything up. Instead of using plumber's tape, I actually used like this glue stuff used for hydraulic connections. It's what I use on my air lines for my car, and it seems to be doing the trick. But inside you could see I have been using it, but filling it is super simple. I like to just kind of take a big glob and throw it in. So it's pretty full. You don't have to go all the way. Just keep in mind, as you're using this, you will have to obviously fill it. And that's it, it screws on. I recommend having like a little towel they don't care about just to kind of get the grease off, because you are gonna get greasy. So you can see mine leaks a little bit. I think it's a different fitting. Try that, give it a spray, see how it does. All you're gonna do is you're gonna come in here, anything that's bare metal, you're just gonna give it a spray. Just like so. And you can see that's it. And if you miss somewhere, you could always just go in again, add some more. You can So I'm not gonna bore you guys to death. I'm gonna go ahead, spray my car down. I'll show you the end if there's anything to really show you. It's that simple. And if you don't like the pressure coming out, you could always adjust it, go up, down, whatever. I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm not professional. I don't do this for a job. I'm just a guy that enjoys his cars and wants to make them last and save a buck. What this is costing me would cost me to do 2 cars at a shop. So start doing the math. And I got the gun now, so next year I just gotta buy the fluid. So it's even cheaper next year. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. You can always just go to someone and get it done. It's a lot easier. But I like to save a couple bucks. And it's a new skill, new tools. So why not? Let me go ahead, bang this out, and I'll show you the rear. I'll show you maybe just some little areas. I don't know. It's pretty straightforward, guys. I forget how light these are until I go to put these on. It's actually insane. Just something I like to do before I drop this is you can go into little areas that are hard to reach just with your spray can. And you can just shoot in there. You know, just, that was pretty bad. That was a poor demonstration. But I do like to go where I have the jack. Just up in there. Give it a good spray, because that's where the jack was. Or the jack stand. So before I drop it, just give it a good soak, just to preserve our pinch welds. Another area makes you want to get is inside your fender well. All in there, it's prone to rust inside. So just go in, get as good as a coat you can, and that's it. Let's swap over to the rear. And just like that, the rear is done. You can kind of see it. I kind of went pretty crazy on the rear. I found the rear just was not as covered as the front, so I just completely caked it. And I was pretty much just using whatever remaining bit of fluid film I had left. There's two things I would do different. One, I would get attachments for the guns. You can just get in there and maneuver it a lot easier. And two, I would get a pressure washer. Get a pressure washer, give the car a good cleaning, like really good. Not do a front and then do a rear. Get it up on all four, deep clean it, get everything off. And then I would also do this, you know, more in like this late summer, fall, just so it's not so brutally cold and you're not rushing to do it, just so you can really do a good job. That is something I seem to always fail to do. But the good thing about this product is it's good, I think, for a year. So it should be good all winter, which is really what I want because all the salt. And then spring, summer should be good. I'm gonna go ahead, get the rear sparkles on, get the BBSs put away. I'm gonna miss those BBSs. I didn't realize how much I liked them until I owned the car for a year. And then just clean everything up, get my tools put away, clean it all up. Torque the wheels, make sure you torque the wheels and double check them. Always wanna double check them. And that's it. I'll be right back. All right, the wheels are on. They're all torqued up. Car is completely oil sprayed. I got the BBSs up there, tucked away till the summer, even though I shouldn't be using this car in the summer because it's my winter beater. But they're there. I'm saying we finish out this video by pulling the Legacy out and putting the STI back in to its home inside the garage so it can remain living its life as the garage queen as it was built to be. So let's move some stuff around. You can see I actually already went ahead, put my battery tender hooked up to the STI. This is just something I do every time I store the car for long periods of time, just so my battery doesn't die on me and I have to replace the battery all the time. As I was doing this, it looks like a squirrel might have been trying to make the STI into a home. As you can see right there, and especially right there. So I'm gonna have to clean that out. That's not a big deal. I also noticed, where is it? So right above, it looks like some type of, like a hornet or a bug. Something was making a little home right there. Don't know what it is, but it's definitely not living there now. So even though the STI is parked, it's put away, it's not actually put away. I'm hoping I get one more day of nice weather and I want to go through, give the car a quick wash, just something at least, just to get a lot of the gunk and grime off of it. And especially the little nest from the squirrel, get that out of there. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys now can spray your own car at home, save some money, make your car last longer. It's a win-win. Feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Take it easy.